twin Garrett, and I'm going to tell you about my grandpa, Jerry Garrett. When my grandpa went into the Navy in 1952, when he was 7 years old. During that time, he was stationed on the SS Sea Leopard. The Sea Leopard held up to 60 people, and it was an old World War II diesel-electric submarine. When they went out on the submarine, they would stay underwater for 2.5 weeks. Life on a sub was tough. When you were underwater, you couldn't take a shower. You often had to walk on cans of food that lined the hallways, and even in your bed. Life on a sub was even harder for flies. Every time the submarine dove deep down into the water, the pressure would kill all the flies on board. During the Cold War, he traveled to Iceland, the Mediterranean, and the Caribbean. He spent a lot of time taking photographs of the Russian landscape. My grandpa was a torpedo man, 3rd class. His job was to know everything about torpedoes. This included cleaning the torpedo tubes, which were only 19 inches in diameter and 20 feet long. Their submarine held 16 torpedoes, each weighing 3,000 pounds. If the submarine was full of torpedoes, they lost 1/3 of the bunks. That meant that you were always sleeping in a different bunk every night. They would often train for battle using practice torpedoes. This involved shooting the torpedoes and swimming out to the ocean to retrieve it by tying a rope onto one end while someone stood on a shark lookout with a rifle. One time, while retrieving some tools that had fallen overboard, my grandpa found himself in a school of about 10 barracudas. Although he did not get hurt, he was very scared at the time. Another drill they did to prepare for battle was to place trained Navy SEALs in a small ski trunk. Navy SEALs are the Navy's Principal Special Operations Force and part of the United States Special Operations Command. Once the men were in the trunk and the hatch was sealed, the Navy SEALs would open the door to the submarine, float the trunk to seawater, and then swim outside to the ocean, into the ocean. This allowed them to go to the surface without being detected by the enemy. When he was discharged from the Navy, they dropped him off in Trinidad. From there, he had to find his way back to the U.S. by hopping on different military aircraft and even a Navy ship called a destroyer. He got out of the Navy 4 years later in March of 1956 and met my grandma, Jan Garrett, 4 months later in June. But that's another story for another time.
Okay, Sophie, what did you think?
What's a barracuda? A barracuda is like a really large fish. It's a dangerous. Yeah, it's a super dangerous, really large fish. It's like what is it? It's like an extra large piranha. Like exactly. It's like 3 times the size of a piranha. Yeah, and it's
Okay, guys, this is Finn's chance to answer questions, not other people's. Hey, Finn, why did your dad, or your grandpa, right?
Yeah.
Why was he? I didn't get the part about why he got stranded in.
Trinidad?
Yeah, Trinidad.
He did. Oh, they just that's just how they do it. They just put him in Trinidad, and then he has to find his way back.
You gotta find your way.
It's kind of like training.
Gabe, do you have a
it's not
compliment for
No,
Finn?
that's when he got discharged. He got kicked out? Pretty much, 'cause he was in the middle.
Not
Discharge means like kind of like you're done.
like let go.
Retired?
Yeah, you're done.
Retired?
Like retired.
Genocide. Like he didn't retire.
Okay, Gabe has his hand up.
Like one, I kind of have shorts for it. My dad,
Wait.
is related to
Do
this.
you have a compliment for him? You're gonna have to tell your story another time. Fiona.
I noticed that you said he went in at 7 years old.
I did?
I think so. I got a couple eyeballs. People looked at me and went 7, but it's 17.
It's 17.
Yeah.
I said 17.
Okay, we'll see. The tape.